Hello students, good morning. So it is a very special video for NEET aspirants, those who have their exams on 5th May 2023. So here in this video we will discuss some important points of your biology chapters which are included in your NEET examination syllabus. So let's start. At first the chapter 1, which is your diversity in living world. So first of all, these are the salient features of living entities like growth, reproduction, sensation, ability to sense the external environment, then metabolism, which includes catabolism and anabolism, that means synthesis of something and breakdown of something, then self-organized, mortality. So all these are characteristic feature of a living organism. So in this video we will discuss about only just points. I will not describe everything. It's just points of each and every chapter, important points to revise something. Okay. So what is biodiversity? These are the diversity among the plants and animals which are present on the biosphere. Then what is nomenclature? It is the naming process. ICBN stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, and then ICZ, then International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. ICBN always help. It is a so ICBN sets some rules to name the botanical or all the plants, and ICZN which helps to name different types of animals. Then this binomial nomenclature means naming a plant or animal in two named scientific letters, two named scientific word, like one is generic epithet, one is specific epithet, one is genus, one is species. And that binomial nomenclature was first proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Here is one example, like the scientific name or zoological name of human being is Homo sapiens, where Homo is the generic name, and our generic name always starts with a capital letter, and sapiens is the species name which starts always with a small letter. Then rules of nomenclature, so it is always a two-lettered word. When expressed should be independently underlined, when written manually should be in italics, when printed names should be Latinized or in Latin language. Generic name begins with uppercase, that means your capital letter, and species name always begins with lower case, that means small letter. Then taxonomic categories, some species are the lower group of organism, and some species togetherly called as genus. Genus constitutes many species, then many genus group together to form a family, and many families are placed under an order. Then many orders are placed under a class, many classes are there under a division, then many divisions are there under a kingdom like Plantae or Animalia. Next, what are the taxonomic aids which helps us to study the taxonomy, like herbarium, where we preserve the plants, then museum, then zoological park, botanical gardens. Then keys are used to identify plant and animal in light of their similarities and dissimilarities. So these are different important points which are present in your first chapter. Then apart from this, one more thing is 5 kingdom classification. So 5 kingdom classification is your plant kingdom is divided into 5 kingdoms. So what is 5 kingdom classification? Whole biosphere or whole living organisms are placed under 5 kingdoms like Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So this is the 5 kingdom classification. The organisms are placed under kingdom Animalia are heterotrophic, and those who are placed under Plantae are autotrophic. Plants have chlorophyll pigment, they are able to do the photosynthesis process and prepare their own food. So these are, and different salient features are there. Different groups have their own characteristic feature. Algae, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm, Angiosperm. About these classes I have uploaded one special video regarding this special classification, so please watch that video. Then after the first chapter, the second chapter is your Plant tissue. So these are the different classes of plant tissues like permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. Simple permanent tissues are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues are xylem and phloem. Then meristematic tissues which have the capability to divide and redivide, but permanent tissues have lost their capacity to divide and redivide. So these are different types of tissue systems. Then root, stem and leaf modifications. There are two kinds of roots which are present in your plant, like taproot and adventitious root. Taproot modified differently to store, like conical, fusiform and napiform. Then breathing root are present in your mangrove plants. They have pneumatophores. That means they have a special pores on their roots to exchange gases between the environment. Then adventitious roots modified to store, like tuberous root, fasciculated root, nodulous root, moniliform root, annulated root, to provide mechanical support, like prop root which is present in your banyan tree. Then stilt root, climbing root, buttresses root. Then vital functions like epiphytic root, which are hygroscopic in nature. They have filament tissues which are present in your orchids, and foliar tissues, sucking roots are present in your coscuta, parasitic plant. Then photosynthetic root, and they are also called as assimilator root. That roots have chlorophyll pigment and prepare food. Then stem modifications, some aerial modifications are there, like creepers, tailors, climbers. Some sub-aerial modifications are there, like runners, stolons, sucker, offset. Underground modifications like bulb, corm, rhizome, tuber. So please watch the examples of each of these modifications. Then phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? Leaf arrangement on the axis on the branch is called floral axis. Phyllotaxy. And different types of phyllotaxies are alternate arrangement, opposite arrangement, hold arrangement of leaves. Then inflorescence, the pattern of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis. There are of two types, like cymose and racemose inflorescence. So in case of racemose inflorescence, the younger flower is present at your tip of the floral axis, whereas in cymose inflorescence, the older flower is present in your tip of the floral axis. Then different types of animal tissues, like epithelial tissues, muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissues. They have different types of different organs under that tissue systems. So please revise those points, and please watch that page of your book immediately. What are the different types of tissues present in a human being? Then what are the different types of tissue systems, organ systems which are present, like your digestive system, nervous system. These are different types of systems which are present in animals, human being. So at first, what is your digestive systems which are included? These are the steps, like ingestion, mixing and movement, secretions, digestion, absorption, then finally excretion. So it is the structure of your digestive system, human digestive system. At first mouth, then teeth, then salivary glands, then pharynx, esophagus, then liver, stomach, pancreas, large intestine, then small intestine, then rectum, and finally anus. So this is different. These are different organs which are present or included under the organ system, human digestive system, then human respiratory system, then circulatory system, and finally the nervous system. So after that, the unit 3, which is your cell and functions of different cell organelles. So at first, what is cytology? It deals with the study about cells, cell behavior of cell, different types of cell organelles. All living organisms are made up of cells, and it is defined as the smallest basic unit of life, and it is the structural, functional and biological unit of all living beings. Who discovered cell? Robert Hooke discovered cell in the year 1665. So it is the microscope which was used by Robert Hooke, and this is the Leeuwenhoek's microscope. Then characteristic of cells, then difference between your prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. The first point to remember during the study of difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is the nucleus. Incipient nucleus is present in your prokaryotic cell. They lack true nucleus, membrane bound nucleus, and eukaryotic cell have a true nucleus. This is the most important point. Apart from this, these are the different points. Then difference between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell have cell wall, animal cell lack cell wall, and apart from that, these are some points. Then this is the structure of plant cell and animal cell. Then cell theory, which is very important, which was proposed by your Sleddin Swan and Robert Bicko. And what are the points? Like the cells are basic functional and structural unit of all living organism. All living organisms are made up of cells. Then all cells arise from a pre-existing cell. Then cell structure, different cell organelles are there, like cell membrane. Who proposed the structure of cell membrane? So the most accepted model for describing the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson in the year 1972, the fluid mosaic model. Then cell wall. Then cell wall is present only in plant cell. Then cytoplasm. The nucleus, which is the brain of the cell, it contains nucleolus, which is the site of your ribosome synthesis. The nuclear membrane, karyoplasm means the nucleoplasm matrix of the nucleus. Then chromosomes, then endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types. One is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, one is your rough endoplasmic reticulum. Then Golgi body, which is your post office of the cell. Then ribosome, which is your protein which helps in protein synthesis, and it have two subunits. And generally the prokaryotes have 70S type of ribosome, and eukaryotic cell have 80S type of ribosome. Then mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Then lysosome. Then chloroplast have the chlorophyll pigment, so help in the process of photosynthesis. Then vacuole. Plant cell have a large vacuole, but animal cell lack large vacuole. They have many small vacuoles. So these are different types of cell organelles. Then what is biomolecules? Biomolecules means all the molecules which are present in the body of living organisms. It consists of micromolecule and macromolecules. Micromolecules are your amino acids and nitrogenous base, then fatty acids, monosaccharide, and macromolecules are your lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids. Nucleic acid is the macromolecule which consists of many nucleotides. Then lipid consists of many fatty acids, proteins consist of many amino acids, carbohydrate consist of many monosaccharides. Then about cell cycle, how cell divides. So cell cycle means all the events that takes place resulting in duplication of DNA and division of cytoplasm, as well as all the organelles, and finally forming two daughter cells. So different phases of cell cycle, like interphase and M phase or real division phase. Interphase is the preparatory and most active phase, which consists of your G1S and G2 phase. Then M phase consists of metaphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, PMAT. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Prophase, interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and finally telophase. Then these are the characteristic feature of your prophase. I have already uploaded this video on my channel, so please watch that video first. After the process of telophase, cytokinesis will occur. Cytokinesis means separation of cytoplasm, finally producing two daughter cells. And this cytoplasm takes place by two methods: cell plate method in case of plant, and cell furrow method or clip-based method in case of animals. Okay. Then meiosis, which is otherwise known as reductional division. Meiosis is a type of cell division which results in 4 daughter cells, and each with half the number of chromosomes of parent cell. So these are the different stages of meiosis. At first the meiosis 1, which is the reductional division, but meiosis 2 is like your mitosis, like equational division. At first interphase will occur, then meiosis 1, which consists of prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis 1. But prophase 1 is the longest phase, so it is divided into again divided into 5 substages like leptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and diakinesis. And remember, the crossing over takes place in the pachytin stage. In zygotin stage, synapses will occur. Okay. Then metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, cytokinesis 1, then interkinesis, then prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2 and cytokinesis 2. So it is the different, these are different steps of your meiosis or reductional division. Then the plant physiology. Under plant physiology, how the transportation of water, minerals and food occur inside the plant. So it is basically occur by long distance transport and short distance transport. Short distance transport includes diffusion, where the substance move from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. Then facilitated diffusion, in which the diffusion takes place through a special protein and channel protein, and it can be of three types like uniport, symport, antiport. Then active transport means it utilizes energy in the form of ATP. Then passive transport takes place, does not takes place by the help of energy and does not utilizes ATP. Then what is water potential? It is the potentiality of water to flow from one place to another. Then water potential of pure water is always 0. It is its unit is Pascal, and it is denoted by this psi W. Then this term was first used by Slater and Taylor. Then pure water has 0 water potential, and water is a solvent, and it always moves from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. Then components of water potential like solute, matrix, pressure, gravity potential. And then what is osmosis? It is a special type of your diffusion, where the movement of water molecule takes place across a semi-permeable membrane from its higher concentration to lower concentration. Then what is hypertonic solution? When the solution, the concentration of solute in a solution is higher than the cell, is called hypertonic. When it is low, then it is lower than the cell concentration, it is called hypotonic. Then when it is same as inside the cell and outside, it is called isotonic. And what is plasmolysis? When a cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, the water moves outside the cell, and that leads to plasmolysis. Then imbibition, water is absorbed by a solid substance called imbibition. Then how water absorption occur through plant? So apoplast and symplast are two pathway. Apoplast is the non-living pathway and symplast is the pathway where the water movement occur through the protoplasm or living part of the plant. Then this is the pathway: active absorption, passive absorption, mycorrhizal water absorption, then absorbed by filamen or hygroscopic route, upward movement of water. Then different types of theories like root pressure theory, which explains the ascent of sap. Then transpiration pool theory, which is the most accepted theory, which was proposed by Dixon and Joly. Then phloem transport, which occurred from source to sink. Then Gidling experiment proves the food transportation occur through the phloem and water transportation occur through the xylem. Then the complete process of photosynthesis. So here are the importance of photosynthesis, historical background of photosynthesis. Then site of photosynthesis is the chloroplast, and these are different types of photosynthetic pigment like chlorophyll A, B, C, D. Then bacteriochlorophyll, which is present in bacteria. Then carotene xanthophyll. Then phycoerythrin and phycocyanin present in your algae. Then what is absorption spectrum? What is action spectrum? Absorption spectrum is the graph showing amount of different light wavelength absorbed by a pigment, and action spectrum is the graph which shows the relative rate of photosynthesis measured in terms of release of oxygen at different wavelength of light. Then quantum requirement, it is the what is quantum? Light rays consist of many tiny particles called photon. Energy carried by a photon is called quantum. Then what is red drop? Then what is immersion enhancement effect? Then the whole pigments are arranged in two photosystem like photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, and photosystem 1 consists of reaction center P700 and light harvesting center. Then photosystem 2 consists of reaction center P680 and light harvesting center. Then mechanism of photosynthesis. The whole process of photosynthesis is divided into two phases, like light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction takes place in the thylakoid membrane, dark reaction takes place in the stroma. Then what is photophosphorylation? It is the production of ATP in the presence of sunlight. One is cyclic photophosphorylation, where the electron moves in a cyclic manner and returns back to the original position. Then what is non-cyclic photophosphorylation? It is always otherwise known as the jade scheme. And what is photolysis of water? The splitting of water in the presence of sunlight. Then chemiosmotic hypothesis describes the process of the production of ATP. Then dark reaction, which takes place in your stroma part. It can be of three types, like your C3 plants. C3 plants perform the C3 cycle, where the first stable product of carbon fixation is your phosphoglyceric acid, which is a 3-carbon compound. Then in C4 cycle, which shows the Cranch anatomy. Cranch anatomy means the rate-like or concentric arrangement of bundle sheaths and mesophyll cells around the vascular bundle. C4, in case of C4 plants, they perform C4 cycle, where the first stable product is a 4-carbon compound. Then crassulacean acid metabolism or CAM pathway, which is present in your cactaceae family and many succulent plants, many desert plants which are present in desert condition. To check the excess water loss. Then photorespiration, it is a highly wasteful process, where the rubisco, which is a dual natured enzyme, capture the oxygen instead of carbon dioxide and forming phosphoglycolate. And these are different factors which affects the process of photosynthesis. Then what is CO2 compensation point? It is the point reached in a plant when rate of photosynthesis is equal to your rate of respiration. Then the process of respiration, where the breakdown of glucose or any respiratory substrate occur to produce the energy. It is a catabolic process. The first step of respiration is glycolysis, where glucose break down to form pyruvic acid. Then after that it can either enter into the anaerobic respiration, which lack the involvement of oxygen, and or they perform the process of aerobic respiration in the presence of oxygen. In case of anaerobic respiration, either ethyl alcohol fermentation or lactic acid fermentation will occur. In case of aerobic respiration, the whole food is broken down to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. And then the link reaction, where the acetyl coenzyme is formed. Then the process of Krebs cycle. Then after the Krebs cycle, electron transport chain will occur in the inner mitochondrial membrane. In the process of electron transport chain, finally the ATP will be formed in the process of oxidative phosphorylation. Phosphorylation means the production of ATP. So finally, these are different types of hormones which are secreted from different glands of human endocrine system. At first the hypothalamus, then pineal gland, then pituitary gland. They have specific hormones like parathyroid hormone. Thyroid gland secrete thyroxine. Then heart, then kidney, thymus gland, then adrenal gland, then digestive tract secrete many hormones. Then pancreatic gland, they secrete insulin and glucagon. Then testis and ovary secrete. Testis secrete androgen, testosterone, and ovary secrete estrogen, progesterone. So these are different glands which secrete different types of hormones. Please watch your book chapter regarding the hormones which are secreted from different glands and details about it. So I think it is the part 1 video of your different chapters, different important points of different chapters which are included in your NEET 2023. In my part 2 video, I will upload the part 2 video of it in the evening. So please like this, share with your other friends, and subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial.